Hello everybody, Vigo's Shadow here, and today we have a new character. Out of the blue, I didn't expect this one. This one very much so snuck up on me. I thought I was done, but I'm not. Because not only do we have the two Valentine's characters that I went over, we had a revival banner, which covered two more characters, and now Sherry out of the blue. A blue attacker, mind you. So, is this the first Sherry attacker? Question mark? I think it is. Oh, I could be wrong. No, I think the event one. Oh, sorry, something fell. I think the event one was also a healer, so this might be the first attacker for Sherry. So let's see how good this one actually is. I kind of have my doubts, but regardless, this is off the regular character pool. So let's just see what endless curiosity Sherry has in store for us. Also, I do want to mention this is a banner trap before we even get into that, and what I mean by that is that this is a type of banner that has a regular character, or a person for a regular character pool. Which means you can get this Sherry after it expires. After this expires, after 11 days, you'll find this Sherry. You could either grind out the shards at a later point of time to get her, or you might actually just be able to summon her later down the line. So what I'm trying to say is it'd be a waste of gems to go off this banner for two reasons. One, the fact that you can get her in the regular character pool and summon off her after on virtually any banner after this goes away. And for two, the rates. So I've actually tried to re-roll this one, and I did not actually pull the character like I usually do. I think I'll start to do that for these specific ones. If they're tied to an event and they're part of the regular character pool, I'll probably still showcase them. But since this Sherry is not tied to any event, I mean, I guess if you want to call her being tied to the White Day event an event, then I guess go ahead, but I still did not pull her because I did not feel like it. Plus, after like 20 rerolls, I just felt like I wasn't gonna get there. Either way, we will go into exactly what this Sherry can do. I'll only be basing it off of what I find on here. You can still find all your information here. You don't have to pull the character to find everything. So let's just go ahead and look at the max stats like I usually do. So this is power to healing boost right here. This is healing boost to overheal. And this is her grouping as well. So it's another human character, and then you got Midgard uniform. Now let's actually check out her full art here. Now this looks like exactly that scene from the anime / like the story, where she is just studying the artifact, which is amazing. I like it. I like the brightness of the lamp and how she gets that shading from behind, and then you also have this glow from the window as well, which is really, really nice as well. I think like the candle is definitely, like the candle in the lantern looks very nice, being able to add that light and the depth of shadows. I really like that. I'd say this artwork is an 8 out of 10 for me. Let's get into the fun part of the video, her skills now. So her hidden technique is going to be Caught Off Guard. And what this one does is it inflicts 1,900% damage on all enemies. What I have to say about that? Right off the bat, that's going to all enemies, which is absolutely amazing. I just can't fathom. Because that's actually a very large piece of damage that's usually found on one enemy. So you're going to find this very good for waves and PvE. As long as it has waves, I think it's really good. Or bosses that actually have multiple people in there, which can be very annoying. I know there was one specific one, I think it was Nelson, that was really irritating to fight. So that'd be good to use for that. And it also lowers the attack by 30% for 10 seconds, and that's on all enemies, which is actually very, very good. So even if this is on a boss and it's just hitting one, it's still a very considerable amount of damage to account for, and this is actually surprising coming from Sherry. So it lowers the attack by 30% for 10 seconds, and another 30% if it's red elemental. So that'd be very good for red bosses. It'll like completely crush their attack. And at that point, you don't need to do a 5 combo for guarding or anything like that. You just throw this Sherry ult before they use their ult, and wow, that is going to nullify or, like, you know, decrease a lot of damage from the boss. So this is good for PvE especially. PvP, of course, you're not going to find that because of the hidden technique. Unless, like, Dark Knight Duel. Maybe it might go off. Alright, then you have Watch Out, which also lowers the attack of all enemies by 40% for 10 seconds. So imagine that. 40% and then 60%. So 100% attack. They're going to be doing pretty much nothing. That's crazy. That is crazy how that can happen. It's a possibility. Just keep in mind you. So if Watch Out goes off, you could throw that hidden technique over it and then just be nothing done to you. I mean, there might be some damage that slips out. I don't know like how the numbers are going to interact, but it should be minus 100% attack, so you should be, what, theoretically doing nothing? Or at least a very large amount of attack you know, you won't be able to do unless somebody has like a buff for attack or something like that. This next one is a 3-hit combo. It's a standard 300% on a single enemy with the highest attack. Further lowers the attack by 30% for 10 seconds if it's red elemental. Right off the bat, that's so good. This one, obviously there's a theme here. We're lowering the attack on red elementals, and it's gonna sting hard. So, I mean, this might be really good for like if you're facing red teams specifically in PvP. It might be hard to to do that unless you have like a Claire on the other team and you know it's gonna be their highest attacker. It's gonna be very hard for this this unit specifically to be PvP. The Watch Out is a very good touch because it'll do lowers attack of all enemies, which might give you a really good edge in PvP, so that skill will be pretty good, but this one heavily relies on if it's attacking a red elemental, which could flop. Next, let's check out her last, final ability, the special ability, aka most of the times the passive. At the start of the wave, we're shielding damage 200%, that's actually a very good shield, of all allies for 60 seconds, further raises speed by 80% for 60 seconds if human. For one, that stack of speed is absolutely insane. I just can't believe that. They have to be a human. You have to be running a human team. Or, sorry, you don't have to run all human. Like, you can still, like, either way, you're getting a shield on all allies for 60 seconds. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So this, and the lowering the attack, and the speed, all make up for this skill right here, which just basically turns it into a 3-hit combo in PvP. But if you happen to hit a red elemental, then that's very good for you. So this one, actually, I do change my mind about it, just because I was wondering what the special ability was going to be, but this one lowers the attack on all enemies for 40%, and that's not even awakened, too. We don't know what it's like awakened as well. Oh, wait. Ooh. Okay, I already did values because I did the max stats and I forgot to bring it over, so let's go ahead and throw that initial one on there. Ooh, yeah, see? That changes a lot now. So let's go to initial because all that awakened looks very, very good. Let's go to caught off guard. So basically we got to switch it. So I'm surprised I didn't even notice that there. So that's standard damage, 1,500. So, but it's on all enemies, so it's still good. 30% is not bad, and then you want to see this awaken so you can have that 60%. That's actually very, very good for the hidden technique. Okay, yep, it goes from 20% for 7 seconds to 40% for 10. That's actually a very considerable jump, and for 3 seconds more. You're going to want to see that on the roadmap as well. Alright, so this one is, for the initial, it is 10% for 7, and then it jumps from 20% for 3 seconds more. Another considerable jump because it's 20%, so that's actually really, really good. All these things on here are looking very, very good, especially you probably don't want to have this page. Like, this one's mid, I'd say. Unless we're talking about bosses, then it's definitely different. So, Endless Curiosity. Look at that jump. That's an insane jump. Like, first, like, we have 100% shield, which isn't bad. So, I thought that was like 200 right off the bat. So, either way, this jump is going to be good. So, you're going to want to see this probably specifically on the roadmap too. So, I'm very curious to see what's on the roadmap because we have a lot of good skills here. All these are very, very good awakened, by the way. She doesn't change anything on the strike combo, and her normal attack is 100%. Yep. Let's go ahead and check out the magic gear before we even advance. At the start of the wave, lowers speed of all enemies by 30% for 30 seconds. Now, wow. That is crazy. And what I mean by crazy is like that's actually really really busted in PvP, because for PvP, speed is so essential. If you have this magic gear, you basically destroy the team, I want to say, because that is, oh man, that's gonna sting so hard in PvP. And for 30 seconds, they're probably gonna be dead. By the time they get back to regular speed, it's gonna be too late, and there's gonna be a lot dead. Further lowers SP boost rate by 50% and attack by 30% if Shadow. So if it's specifically Shadow, I mean, wow, wow, that's actually pretty crazy. So you're really nerfing Shadow into the ground, either one of them, Awakening Hour or the Master, which are probably the two best ones in the, like, well, Master Shadow being one of the best ones in the game, but Awakening Hour is still considerable. That is like a severe counter to any Shadow. So if you have this unit all the way leveled up, you're countering Shadow so hard by lowering his attack so much. And like the SP boost rate doesn't really matter too much, but the attack is crucial. And not to mention, lowers speed of all enemies by 30% for 30 seconds. This is like versatile. You can use this in multiple areas, and it's very, very good. PvP, PvE, Armageddon, anywhere. That's good. That is so, so good. And what does this look like max? 50%. That is crazy. 50%. Wow. I just can't believe that. 50% on that magic gear. That's a really good magic gear. You're gonna want to try to use all your magic drops, or not all of them now. But you're gonna want to try to get that if you get this character in the regular character pool. Wow, it is promising already. So let's see what the Awakening roadmap looks like. First off the bat, we get the Hidden Technique. Great for PvP, or not PvP, PvE and Armageddon. That's actually not bad. Having her at A1 is going to be really good for bosses, and you're probably going to want that. I'd rather have the skills that more cater to doing PvE and bosses, because that's going to help a lot in the long run. So the second one we have, it's this page, which also helps for PvE and bosses, so you lower the attack even more. Not good for PvP, or like probably one of her least best skills for PvP though. Then we have the third Awaken being Watch Out, which is really good because it lowers the attack of all enemies for 40%. Magic Gear slot at 4, and then we have this Endless Curiosity, which is probably one of her best, tucked away at A5. If she is on the regular character pool, there is chances you're going to get her to A5 just by summoning over and over and over again and over time. So there's always that possibility, but even this at its default is really good. So what I gotta say for Endless Curiosity Sherry is that she's actually a very, very good unit for blue. Surprisingly, it surprised the crap out of me when I seen all that, especially her magic gear. Her magic gear is so worth it. You're probably gonna want to try to specifically get that. Either way, she lowers the attack of red elementals so good, and then she'd be like pretty good for Armageddon. The only thing that's on the downside here is like there's no need to lower attack if your blue team is so stacked and can withstand so much. So that is the flip side. So her like early to mid game is really good, but if we're talking about late game, maybe like she could do really well with World Tree, because I know like World Tree bosses hit super hard, and if you're grinding and you just don't have the gear, she can come in clutch a lot. So I think she's a very beneficial unit, but obviously there are some bosses and events where you're going to want her out of the team in favor of more damage and buffs for damage, because sometimes the boss just doesn't hit anything. They're like pillow punches, so you don't even need that decrease in attack. But I feel like most of the time it's better to have that than not. I have survived Armageddon with like 5 attackers and no healer and no nothing, because the boss has like doesn't do like any damage. So that's just something to consider. That's my take on Sherry. She's actually a pretty good addition to blue teams, especially if you were looking to go do grinding on World Tree, if you want to get hard, if you want to get through those hard stages. Certain other stages that where the enemies just hit super hard, your teams are dying. This is where she comes in clutch, and she's probably good backup unit to use. Like, no complaints there. She could be actually really good in PvP with the speed decrease and the attack decrease and give you the edge. So all in all, she's a really good unit, but I would not summon for her on the selection banner. Do not banner trap. That's all I gotta say for that. Now I'm gonna get into the second part of the video, which is the White Day campaign. So this is a new event that has popped up. This is the White Day mission. Obviously I have a lot of limited missions at the moment because I'm on my other account. Because I was doing the beginner guide. I'm still plugging away at that. So on these, you can complete these missions and get a limited title, which is right here. The title, I mean, I guess some people do like to do title collecting. I'm not too much into that because I've already missed like a bunch of titles already. And then there's coins, which the coins are probably going to be the best thing. So obviously you have a bunch of missions here, one-on-one, magic gear, Bushin, and these are actually really, really easy. You can complete pretty much all of these in a day if you just grind specifically at that. Hard Chronicles, that might take a little bit of stamina for that. Normal ones, that's easy, and 500 stamina. This is like so easy, guys, to get this. And I think this is the first sheet, so there is multiple sheets. So there's probably opportunity to get more coins. I'm not sure what lies ahead after all this, so there is that. Let me go into the exchange then next. Alright, so I am actually on my main account now, and I decided to show you what the full sheet looks like. So I completed all this, and I'm about to claim that first sheet. So there's the coins, and here is the claim. And here's the title. So we got this limited time title. And more pop up, which I actually did them all, I think. Yeah, I've been grinding a lot of normal quests. So I don't know if this is the second sheet, and this is definitely the second sheet, but I'm not sure what you get off of it. It looks like just more coins, which you can just redeem. So I'm gonna redeem that, and that just gave me a lot of coins right there. We're gonna go back to home. I'm going to go ahead and go into shop, and then you're going to go to this Mitsugoshi branch right here. Pretty much anytime there's limited events exchange stuff, it is right here. And I don't think yes, I claim nothing here, so this is really good. What you're going to want to go for here is obviously, they have summoning tickets, and I always like to bring those up, because if you go for the Phantasm Gems, you're going to get a max of 5. And there is going to be, so you get 1,500 gems, which is not like, I'd say almost half, like pretty much over halfway there for like a multi, but this is like straight out a multi, so I like to get the summon tickets. Those are some of my favorites to get. I'll get the gems here as well. And then I'd probably go for the, because we don't have a Shadow Wisdom Polish, and that's the best polish, so I'd go for that, but since there's a Supreme Magic Drop, I'll go ahead and pick this up. And then I'll go ahead and pick up the polishes. I like to always like farm out the polishes. Candies are coming naturally to me, so I don't have to do that. Late game, you're going to find very quickly that these candies just stack up and they're really easy to get. And that pretty much concludes everything for White Day. It's just a giant mission, a bunch of missions to get you more gems and more tickets. So let's see if those gems or sorry, not the gems, but the tickets are fruitful for me. So I'm going to go ahead. I already had 10 additional tickets before that, and that's because the White Day actually gives you 10 summon tickets. So in total, this event has given me 20 summon tickets, which is great, so I'm going to go ahead and use that and see if I get any SS's off of it. And then it also gives you 1,500 gems and an SS drop, so that's probably the best thing from the White Day event. Oh, I got nothing there, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. More Akasha Crystals for me. And let's use my other 10. Oh, looks like I'm getting an SS. That's perfect. I'll take it. I'll take anything. Ooh, I could probably get row 666 up a little bit. I hope she wins the battle. Yukime. It's new, actually, so I did not have this character before, so I'll actually take that. That's not bad. Another character to the pool for me. I'll take that as a win, and with that, that is everything you need to know about Sherry. She's a very good blue attacking unit, and the White Day event will give you 20 summon tickets, and 1,500 gems if you grind it out, and an SS Magic Gear drop. So that's actually very good. Anyway, that's all there is to the White Day event plus the Sherry character, Vigo. Signing off.